News 18 with me, Toya Singh. As you know, India is heading to elections in 5 states. Our show, The Poll of Polls, is going to be taking you through all of the depth of that tonight at 8 p.m. But for now, let's take a look at the top stories across these states. You remember today is the last day for nominations for the first phase of Uttar Pradesh's polls. Now, while other parties have declared their candidates, the Samajwadi Party continues to remain tight-lipped about the names of its candidates. It's being speculated that this move is to refrain from any kind of debates around contentious issues like how many tickets will be given to which community. Now, the first phase of the Uttar Pradesh polls is going to be taking place on February 10th. We'll be bringing you more details about why exactly Samajwadi Party has decided to take that strategy when it comes to who they have decided to nominate and who not to. We've, over the last few days, seen quite a bit of movement from the two parties that are in focus right now. You'll remember that is both the BJP and the Samajwadi Party. Now, the first phase of the elections is going to be taking place in Western U.P. Western U.P. is largely Jat dominated. Not only that, agricultural issues have very much been in focus over the last few years. This is the Western U.P. sugarcane belt, and so those issues are in prime focus. Now, some of the key announcements that have come in over the last few days. We've come to know that both Yogi Adityanath from the BJP and Akhilesh Yadav from SP are planning to run. But to bring you more updates and to take you to the ground, my colleague Pranshu Mishra is with us this morning. Pranshu, the first big question for you, why are we seeing this strategic choice, this choice of silence from Samajwadi Party about their nominees?
Well, there is an entirely new strategy of the Samajwadi Party in these elections. And if you see, Samajwadi Party doesn't want to actually engage in a larger debate on issues, contentious issues like the 80% versus the 20% or the Mathura Kashi Ayodhya or, say, the majority versus the minority divide. What Samajwadi Party aiming is to be silent, continue with its work, try to engage, different communities, and therefore, you don't see the open expression or the open release of a large candidate list. So what is happening is candidates are being given symbols and tickets at the local level, at the constituency level. They are filing nominations. And in terms of the larger debate, the media and also the other opposition parties are unable to generate a larger debate upon which community has got how much representation in ticket distribution. The other thing which is happening is of course that the Samajwadi Party is also focusing big time on the issues which it feels will go against BJP. So, for example, yesterday it said that it will revive the old pension. Before that, they announced that, they will come out with 300 units free electricity to the farmers. So I think they are trying to fight this election on the issues of, the basic issues, the employment, pension schemes, farming issues, and want to avoid this larger debate of, 80% versus the 20% or the Hindu versus the minority debate.
Pranshu, stay with us. You've just outlined a few reasons. I actually want to take our audiences through exactly each of those reasons just so that they really stay with our audiences. So why the Samajwadi Party is choosing to take this move, why it's choosing not to announce its nominees. Let's take a look at each of those reasons. Now, there are 4 primary causes. The first is that it's allowing them to put candidates in the public domain. Putting the candidates in the public domain, rather, can lead to the media scrutiny. They're trying to avoid that right now in the run-up. They're also refraining from any kind of controversy over who they're giving tickets to and which specific communities, because as you'll remember, that has plagued both the Samajwadi Party and the BJP in the last few days. Now, what they're also trying to do is they're trying to avoid polarization in Western UP on the tickets that they're giving out to specific communities. This is what my colleague Pranshu Mishra was telling us. Now, there is also one more reason. They're ensuring, obviously, by doing this, that COVID norms are taken care of, since no aspirants will actually be coming into the party headquarters. You'll remember that the Samajwadi Party has actually been in a bit of trouble over the last few weeks over COVID norms. Now, let's go back to my colleague Pranshu Mishra. Pranshu, we've just taken our audiences through each of these key reasons. Keeping this in mind, what can our audience then look forward to today?
Well, one biggest example is that when BJP's first list of 109 candidates was announced, recall the sort of scrutiny, the media attention that was paid to it. And we all immediately went into, analyzing it, how many OBCs have been given ticket, how many women, how many candidates have been repeated, how many caste-wise Jats or the other OBCs or upper caste have got the ticket. I think Samajwadi Party in that run-up to election wants to avoid this sort of media scrutiny. And remember, the moment Samajwadi Party issues a consolidated list, focus will go on particularly how many Muslim faces or the minority faces have got tickets, how many Yadavs have got tickets, how many people with open criminal records have gone ticket. So I think Samajwadi Party doesn't want to get into that debate. That's the reason why you see the ticket allocation in a splintered way, in a fractured way, rather than issuing a concrete one consolidated list. And this trend, I think, is helping Samajwadi Party also. As you rightly pointed out, Election Commission has been quite tough when there was a huge build-up at the Samajwadi Party office earlier this month. And I think by distributing tickets at the local level, allocating directly the symbols, the party has also has been saved from that sort of build-up happening at its party headquarters here in Lucknow. So multiple reasons are going, and I think in the run-up to elections, this sort of suspense will continue. Over the past few days, we have been reporting how there was a lot of confusion about from where Akhilesh Yadav is going to contest. There is also still an ambiguity of doubt whether Azam Khan is going to contest from Rampur or not. Though our sources say that yes, he is going to contest from Rampur. So the point is that the Samajwadi Party doesn't want to openly communicate. Thereby, it avoids, it also gets the benefit of being in news, since a lot of speculation keeps on happening. And the second thing, it also is able to avoid the intense media scrutiny and also any concrete attack that might come in from the opposition party.
Pranshu, thank you for highlighting that for us. Do stay with us. I actually want to take our audiences through a few more updates coming in from Uttar Pradesh. The Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav and the recently inducted former Congress leader Imran Masood have now silenced all rumors on any rift between the two. The former Congress stalwart who met Akhilesh on Friday spoke to CNN News 18. He said that he was never upset with Akhilesh Yadav and that he will continue to work for the party. Even the Samajwadi Party tweeted out a picture of the meeting between the two of them. Now we'll try to bring you a little bit more context on that story.
मेरा ब्रेकअप हुआ ही नहीं था जो पैचअप होगा। मेरा कोई ब्रेकअप हुआ ही नहीं था। मैंने 11 तारीख को कहा था और 11 से भी पहले मैं 4 महीने से लगातार एक ही बात बोल रहा हूँ कि लड़ाई लंबी है और उस लंबी लड़ाई के अंदर अखिलेश जी के नेतृत्व के अलावा कोई दूसरा दिखाई नहीं देता जो उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर इस लड़ाई को जीत सके। तो उसके अंदर कोई मतलब ही नहीं है दूसरी बात होने का। देखिए, मैंने अपने साथी के लिए टिकट की डिमांड की थी। अब पार्टी के नेतृत्व की मजबूरियां होती हैं, कुछ चीजें होती हैं, नहीं दे पाए। उसका मतलब ये तो नहीं कि मैं पार्टी के खिलाफ खड़ा हो जाऊंगा। मैं पार्टी के साथ हूँ, पार्टी के साथ रहूंगा, पार्टी के उम्मीदवारों को मजबूती के साथ चुनाव लड़ाऊंगा। ये परसेप्शन बीजेपी के लोग बनाते हैं, हिंदू मुसलमान की बात करते हैं ना। हम हिंदू और मुसलमान की बात कर रहे हैं, बात किसान की और नौजवान की हो। सरकार ऐसी बने जो इसके दिल के अंदर सबके लिए दर्द हो, जो सबको साथ लेकर के चलने की बात करे। और अखिलेश जी के अलावा कोई दूसरा विकल्प है नहीं उत्तर प्रदेश में जो एक मजबूत सरकार देने का काम कर सके।
All right, I want to now take us back to Pranshu Mishra, our UP Bureau Chief, for a little bit more context on this story. Pranshu, just for our audiences, can you highlight the significance of what this support now coming in from Imran Masood actually means? There was a quick turnaround that we actually saw from the Samajwadi Party. So could you also explain what the last few days have looked like for our audiences?
Well, Imran Masood is a very prominent political face from Western Uttar Pradesh, especially in that crucial belt of Saharanpur and also, adjoining Meerut. So he has this influence. Now that entire belt there, you have two minority vote is quite decisive. It's quite impressive. Then you also have a large chunk of Dalit vote. What we are seeing, the Imran Masood factor can actually help the Samajwadi Party RLD combine in probably tilting the scale slightly in their favor as compared to the mighty BJP also in that pocket, and therefore Imran Masood becomes necessary. The second point, beyond Imran Masood's own personal capacity, see, Samajwadi Party, we have been reporting that how it doesn't want to play the minority card openly, how it has been silent, how it has tried to reduce the representation of Muslim candidates in its ticket distribution. But having said that, it also doesn't want to antagonize the minorities. It also wants to keep them in good loop. And therefore, Imran Masood going out of Samajwadi Party fold would have, hit the sentiments of the community on the ground, might have sent wrong messages. So I think Akhilesh also tried to do a fine balance. He also realized that, during the round one, when Imran Masood was left humiliated, no pictures were tweeted, I think Akhilesh Yadav realized that you need to give a certain level of, respect and honor to the leader, despite the fact that you don't want to openly project the minority card. And that's the reason why round two of meetings happened. If you